Okay, hi everybody. So we are continuing in our second week of quarantine or social distancing. Here with just adding one last thing to the financial statement, your three linked financial statements. And this is basically going to be very straightforward and easy. We already did this at the beginning of the semester. All we want to do over here, we have our 4-page linked financial statement Excel sheet, and if you just add another page to it, call the page ratios, and what we can do is just set up all those financial ratios that we already made, and attach them to this file. So then we'll have a complete financial set of linked financial statements. Okay. So over here on this side, I've got Canvas open, your class set to student view, because I want to show you which file we're going to grab those ratios from. So if you scroll down the modules and into the second module where I say analysis, Maze chapter 3, what we want is to get chapter 3 solutions. You want to download that one. Because that's what we're going to pick it up out of. So you go ahead and do this download. I'm going to pause my recording and then open up the Excel file that I've already got for you. Okay, so here it is. This is the Big Rock Candy Mountain Mining Company example, and what you need to do, I believe, is go to problem 1. Yeah. Okay, so problem 1 was the homework that you did for this chapter, where you calculated a whole boatload of ratios. And what we need to do is copy this and put it over here. And when I do that, something strange is going to happen. I'm going to let it happen so that you see in case you have the same mistake. Or it's not a mistake, it's just an oddity. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this all. Copy it, and then I'm going to go over to cell A1 over here and paste. Oh, and it worked this time. The first time I did this before, for some reason it all wound up trying to cram into cell A1. I don't know what happened there, but if that happens to you, the way that you fix that is you go in over here, and you'll notice that this box here is a text box. It's not actually in the cells. So you can just drag that thing over, and then you would have your just the numbers. So let's go ahead and get rid of this text box over here. I'll grow this so you can see what I'm doing. So we'll get rid of this, and then get rid of these rows, and then we have our ratios. So we can close this for now. Okay, so here is here's our ratio page now, and let's see, I'll make it a little bigger. Now, these ratios, if you look at the cells themselves, right, they are actually referring to files, or that is in a completely different file. They're referring to cells that are in a completely different file, and we don't want that, right? We want these to refer to our own file. So there's a quick way to do it. But you do have to go through and do it bit by bit. Okay, so this is called find and replace. Okay, what you do, you'll notice that this cell reference is referring to Chapter 3 Solutions 1.xl Big Rock Candy Mountain Income Statement. And what we actually want to be referring to is our best practice income statement within this file, right? So let's see what happens. Let's see, how can we do this that'll make it as easy as possible? Okay, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go in here and just replace this. I'm going to say equals, and I'm going to go over here to the income statement, and I'm going to pick up that cell there, because that's the cell that we want. Okay, 2016. Now, we can change that all over there. Okay, so what we want to do now instead of referring to, and I'm going to show you this down here, instead of referring to this whole big long statement here, right, all we want at this point is to have it refer to the income statement page like you see up there, best practices IS, in single quotes with an exclamation point on the end, right? That's how we refer within one workbook to a different worksheet. So here's what we want to do. We want to say everywhere that we're looking for BRCMM balance sheet exclamation point, right? We want to instead refer to best practice BS. So how you can do that is with what's called a find and replace function. So to do that, the easy way, double click on this and start your copy where that single quote mark is and end it where the exclamation point is, and say copy. Okay, now we've got that copied into our clipboard. Escape out of there. And what you do is you go edit, find, replace. Now on a Windows machine, the way that you get to find and replace might be a little different. I can't remember, but just go to the find and replace. And then what you're looking for is that statement that we just copied, right? So if you hit paste here, right, that's that whole statement, and what we want to replace it with is, and we might have to do this a couple of times, right? But let's give it a try. Single quote, best practice BS, single quote, exclamation point. So let's try that there and just hit replace once in this particular cell. So let's just give it a try and see how it goes. Okay, so if I hit replace, it divides by 0. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Okay, best practice BS, B10 divided by B19. So let's look over here. Right, so here's B10 and here's B19, which is a 0. Right, so that's the other thing. It's not picking up the right cells. That's okay. We're going to fix the right cells in a little bit. Right, so let's just at least first get rid of that reference to the other worksheet. So now that I know that this is working right, so B19 should actually be B21 because this is a current ratio, right? So now that's working here. C21, and so you can just copy that over. There we go. Okay, so now, right, you take and highlight all of these cells and do the same find and replace thing. So edit, find, replace. It'll remember the whole thing, and then you say replace all. And the whole thing is going to look like a mess, but don't freak out. Okay, so there it is. There's 44 replacements. So that's how you do quick and easy copy and paste. I'm going to stop the video here, and then we'll actually go in there and dig into the numbers, okay?